If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Okay, so thank you all for joining the session. In last session, we just had an introduction where we have seen that who are the participant and what experience you guys carry. Okay, so basis on that part, I am going to take care of the training part. As I said, if you guys are freshers, so I have a different pattern. If you are an experienced professional, I follow a different pattern. And what I see that majority of you are like coming from an experience background. Okay, nothing to do with Workday, but yes, you carry some or the other experience coming from technology. Somebody is marketing. So basis on that part, I have defined the session for the Workday. Okay, so let's move on. And yes, as the disclaimer goes, that this presentation include example, images, and reference are provided for information purpose only. Credit shall be given to image taken from the open source and cannot be used for promotional activity. And this is the disclaimer which we follow whenever we start the session. Okay, so yes, I have already introduced myself in our last session. So today we are going to see that modules covered by ZaranTech in Workday HCM training. So yes, we all are here to understand the concept of Workday HCM. And we see that when we say HCM, HCM is a vast concept, but what all things comes under HCM? And when we say HCM, I know Workday HCM, then there are some content and the concept which we all should be aware of. So we are going to see that. Then about the course, we will get deep dive into the course, then introduction to HCM. And yes, very important factor that there is a purpose why we have joined this session. Okay, so salary trend, job trend, and beside training, what all things ZaranTech is going to offer apart from training. There are additional information, additional sessions where ZaranTech is going to play a part, and we will see that what all the other part, and then finally we'll have a Q&A. Just to brief you guys, today also we are going to see the introduction to Workday. Like before I directly jump onto Workday that, hey, what is Workday? This is Workday module. You need to know this. Before I directly jump onto Workday, we need to make sure that what is Workday and how Workday got originated, who owns Workday, what all modules Workday offer. So we need to have some or other background of Workday before we say that, hey, I am a Workday consultant. Yes, we are a Workday consultant. We are going to be a Workday consultant, but we need to have a background of Workday, right? Who owns Workday? What was the reason behind getting Workday? What are the different modules? How many customers are there? We are going to see all of these. Okay. So yes. So yes, since I have introduced myself, I see that the count is more. So let me quickly introduce myself again. That my name is Manthan and I carry 12 years of experience, but from last 8 years, I'm into Workday. And when I say I'm into Workday, I'm a certified consultant. So when I say certified, that doesn't mean that I have only taken training. Certified means my name, my ID is there on Workday's server. And in terms of my certification, I carry HCM fundamental certification, which is the foundation. Means without HCM fundamental, no consultant in Workday can get any other certification. So HCM fundamental I carry core compensation, advanced compensation, report writer, and recently I have completed performance module certification. So these are my certification, but apart from this, I take care of integrations as well. So in terms of integration, I take care of EIBs, I take care of core connectors. Okay. So for our HCM module, we have all of these content which we are going to cover. We have already seen that what we are going to see. So we'll directly move on to the concepts. Okay. Yes, we deep dive onto the content which we are going to cover. Yes, so we'll start with core concept, but before core concept, we need to know that, hey, what is Workday? Okay, so today we are going to see what is Workday, and then probably from tomorrow we will have a core concepts and basic navigation, the first chapter. So when I say core concepts and basic navigation, yes, guys, I have already explained we are going to work as an implementer. Implementer means the person who implement Workday for customer, Workday for clients. So we are going to work as a Workday implementer. When I say implementer, we are not the person who is going to approve the salary, hire an employee. No, we are going to set up the plan. Okay, we are going to support a Workday customer. Let's suppose I am an organization, I am using Workday, but I need somebody who can support me. Support me means If HR partner comes and says that, hey, I'm getting an issue in this position, can you resolve? Such kind of issues I'll be taking care. Or HR partner says, hey, we've been using this, but I want a new process to be created for our new year or any enhancement. So enhancement will come in picture, support will come in picture. What all things we implement for Workday, all such things are part of our job profile. So whenever we are looking out for a job, we should make sure that we should be either getting a support job where Workday is already implemented and we are supporting the customer. Secondary, it should be an enhancement, means Workday is implemented, but they need to enhance their application. Or third is Workday is implementing. I am a customer. I say that, hey, I have a PeopleSoft. Now I wanted to migrate my PeopleSoft to Workday. Can you please help me? So there are three categories of it, and I can fit in any of one category depending upon my profile, depending upon my job profile. Yes, organization onwards. Here onwards, we will actually deep dive into a tenant. Now, guys, when I say tenant, I'll tell you why I called Workday as a tenant, why I'm not saying software, why I'm not saying ERP. Every time you might have heard that, hey, tenant is down, or we will get the tenant access, we will give you a tenant access. What is a tenant? So from chapter 2, we will basically start our configuration things. Configuration things, whatever we have configured here, we are going to use in all the other respective modules. Okay. So let's suppose I am explaining additional staffing transaction, we are going to use our organization. So it is not like that if you are not following the chapter 2 and you said, can I focus on the other chapters? No, it is all the chapters are interdependent. And if you're not followed one thing, then it really becomes tough for you to cope up with the module. So I will request, even though if you have for some reason, if you're not able to attend the session, no problem. We do have a recordings. You can go over the recordings and then try to get the concept. Okay. Then what is the course objective? We all are here for a purpose, right? So master core concepts and navigations of Workday HCM suite. So we now Workday has different modules. Workday has HCM module, Workday has payroll module, Workday has performance module. So, but what are we going to do? Because Workday is a word which says, hey, under Workday we have several modules. But out of those several modules, what modules we are going to learn? We are going to see HCM, Human Capital Management. Okay. Why we are choosing HCM? Why not recruiting? Why not payroll? Why not any other module? Because HCM is the foundation. Without HCM, even Workday will not allow me to work on any other module. Let's suppose if I am getting a job, let's suppose I'm getting a job and I'm working for a partner company. So the partner company means the organization who implement Workday for the customer on behalf of Workday. Okay. So if I'm working there, so to work for a customer, Workday says, hey, you need to be certified on HCM. Then only you are allowed to work with customer or to use customer data. Okay. So foundation data and foundation knowledge HCM, and that is the reason we are here to learn Workday HCM. Okay. Then each application has their own terminologies, right? If I come from SAP background, I know they have info type, wage type concept, but in Workday, it is compensation grade profile. So what happens? You move from one ERP to other ERP, the terminologies may change. And since we are learning Workday, so we will make sure that we focus and understand the terminologies which are used in Workday. Things like business process, compensation grade profile. We are going to see all of these components. Yes, we do also cover a Workday report, Workday Studio, and cloud connectors. So Workday report means, now let's suppose I have implemented Workday, but HR needs a report for their analysis. So yes, even we are in our training also, we are going to see Workday reports to make sure that we understand the concept. And as I mentioned, several times I have mentioned that we are going to use implementers access and implementers approach. Now, implementers approach is clear that if my customer is new and they say that, hey, I want to implement Workday, so we can implement the kind of training which we are going to give you that, hey, if any customer comes to you and asks for a Workday approach, you should be able to determine and define the scope of their implementation. Okay, so we are going to use implementers approach. Okay, now what are the prerequisites? Who all can get HCM? Now, this is very, like, as of now, we haven't seen that who all can do that part. But who all, or what is the prerequisite? Because when you go for any job, there is certain requirement, right? If you follow that requirement, then you are allowed to go for that opportunity. So it says, first of all, experience in HR and recruitment will be a beneficial. Means since you're learning HCM, so people coming from HR industry or from recruiting industry, they know the requirement better. So since you know the requirement, so half task is already done. If you ask me, when I started my Workday journey, I was not aware of functional things. Functional things means I don't know how HR world works. So what happens whenever I'm getting a requirement from my customer, I used to double check with my colleagues that since I don't know the functionality. Okay, I don't know how recruitment works. Guys, I'm not talking about Workday. I'm talking about functional knowledge, right? You go in any organization, any country, the recruitment process is there, right? Maybe one organization says we take 5 approvals for hiring an employee. Some organizations say we need only 2 approvals for hiring, but process is there and we don't know how does process move. So if you have an experience of HR or recruitment, that will be an added advantage. Or basic knowledge in SAP HCM is recommended. Means since you're learning HCM, again, guys, I'm saying, even though if you don't carry any of this experience, that doesn't mean that this is the end of your world. At least you should think of the HR world. Now, HR world means when you apply to a position, let's suppose, okay, leave Workday. When you apply to a position, you know that, right? What all things comes in picture? First, your position should be matching. You say that I carry 2 years of programming experience. So you will see that, is my programming experience is needed in the new position? You will match that. Once you shortlisted, you go for an interview. Once you go for an interview, your compensation is determined, and then you apply for leave, you get promoted, you get terminated. So you see, overall, we need to know that how a hiring and a firing of an employee happens in an organization. If you know all the phases, then it makes your life easier to understand HCM. And I hope everyone is aware how to get a job. And after getting a job, what are the different phases comes in that employee's life, and when employee leaves the organization, what are the formalities employee have to do. We are going to do the same concept. What I said, HCM is about hiring an employee and terminating an employee. Within these two content, whatever things comes in picture is HCM. Okay, and we are going to focus on HCM. Finance and human resource professional of an organization. Okay, who should take up this course? So anyone who's coming from finance and HCM. Recent MBA graduates with finance or HR specialization. Professional planning to change or like elevate up to IT career into the stream of finance and HR of an organization. So you say that, hey, I know I'm a marketing consultant. Can I go for it? Yes, you can go for it. The only thing is like you should be able to adapt the system. And there is one definition, guys. We need to adopt, not adapt. Means Workday is a box product. You cannot go to Workday and say that, no, I want logo to be changed. Can you do that? I want black color. I want blue color. No. Workday is an application, and which is a global application. When I say global application means Workday is configurable. Configurable means you can configure Workday application, but you cannot customize. Now, customize means, guys, when I say, no, I don't want this search button here. I want search button at the left-hand side of the screen. You cannot customize, you can configure. Configure means you can define the process. You cannot change the button. You cannot change the name of the button. That is customization. Customization is not possible. Configuration is there. So Workday is a configurable application, not customizable application. Okay, now training benefits. We all are here, there is a purpose, right? So what all things we need to focus on? So what we do, we offer a training and a certification option. So guys, certification is a different part. Certification means a certification can only be given by Workday. So you have to work for Workday or for a partner company. So partner company means organization like Accenture, Cedar, IBM. These are KPMG, Deloitte. These are partner company, means who has a partnership with Workday. And if you guys working from such organization, then these organization will nominate your name. You will go for a training. After training, you will have to pass on one exam. If you clear that exam, then only Workday will give you a certification. Okay, so no organization can claim that, hey, we can give you Workday certification. Workday certification can only be given by Workday itself. So ever you come across any organization claiming that they can give you, there is big no. You should not fall into their trap. Workday certification can only be given by Workday. There is no other organization who provides certification. Yes. Then what we do? We provide training and certification options. So what the pattern which we are following is similar to Workday. Means we are not enhancing anything. When you go for a certification, Workday has a several pattern. They say that, hey, we have a presentation, then we will give you an activity, then activity wise, we will take your exam. The only difference is Workday completes the entire HCM training in 20 hours and we take 30 to 35 hours to make sure that whatever topic we are explaining, the participants should able to digest the topic. Okay. And we give personal attention that, hey, if you're not following this, we will recap it. But Workday doesn't go that. If you don't follow, they say that, okay, no problem. You ask with the friends and get to know. They'll keep on moving and they will not wait. Okay. So you can see the difference. Okay. But pattern wise, Workday gives you a tenant, we are going to give you a tenant. Workday gives you a reading material, we have a reading material prepared, we are going to give you that. They will not give you recorded session, we are giving you a recorded session. So there is a huge difference. We have enhanced, we have more options what Workday offer, but yes, we simply map what Workday offer to any Workday HCM consultant. We are going to do that part. We ensure that our experienced instructor will guide you each training in upgrading the relevant skills and subject knowledge. Yes, as I mentioned that I am a certified consultant and I am working from past 8 years. So I know whatever example we are going to see in our training, we are going to see that example as a best practice of the industry. Because I have seen Workday evolving. So when I started in 2015, that was like Workday was not that enhanced. There were limited resource, limited options were there. But now if I compare 2015 Workday with 2020-22 Workday, there is a huge difference. If the difference is huge, obviously the approach is different, right? You need to get more options. So we are going to see the industry's best practice for doing any implementation. Okay, so we are going to use that part. Enrolled student will receive course-wise assignment. Yes, I will walk you through the LMS, that what all things are present in LMS. You see that there is one segment called assignment. There we have uploaded all the assignments. Once I have completed the session, you go over that assignment and try to accomplish them. If you're not able to do so, then we can discuss in our session and we will move on from there. Lab and case studies based on real-time scenarios. Yes. Enrolled student can access training blog and recorded videos of each session. As I mentioned, you will get all the sessions are recorded, and whenever you want to go over the recordings, you have all the options available onto your LMS, and I hope everyone is handy with the LMS access. Is there anyone who is not having LMS access? If not, so I would request reach out to support team and get that LMS access, because LMS access is the single point of contact for you all to get your recorded sessions, get your reading materials, get your presentation and attendance kind of thing. So please make sure that you have your LMS access created by your support team. Okay. Now, what is Workday? Now, big time, right? We have seen what we offer, what all things we are going to give you. But why Workday? Why we are focusing more on Workday? What is the reason? There is a reason behind we all are here, right? And as ZaranTech as an organization, we are taking care of 5 to 6 batches at a time. So HCM is having 6 batches at a time. So there are 6 consultants who is taking care of HCM module. And why? If I'm saying 6 batches means there are consultants who are looking out for the opportunity. Why it is so? An open demand cloud-based financial and HCM software vendor. Now, guys, Workday is application, but the organization name itself is Workday. You're getting it? So the organization name who started Workday, the name of the organization is Workday, and the name of the application is also Workday. Okay, it is an open demand, means it is cloud-based application. Cloud-based application means when you save data onto Workday application, it is not going to store onto your local machine. It is going to store onto a central repository, a server hosted by Workday. Now, what happens in this module? Cloud-based. Guys, any idea what is cloud-based? Let me have an interactive session. Any idea what does a cloud-based application means? Any example?
Cloud-based applications means whatever the data we are storing, that will be stored into the cloud.
Okay.
The services which we will be utilizing, like it can be anything, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a
Any
service.
example of cloud-based application? Any example?
Like OneDrive, or we can say, yeah,
OneDrive, Facebook,
yeah.
your Google Drive. So what happens when you operate your Facebook? Does your Facebook account need a specific system? No, right? You be in India or you be in United States. Even when you go to, let's say if I'm changing my country, I'll still be able to access that. Why? Because my data is centralized. It is not a system specific application. It is URL based application. Means I need to have my ID and password, and then I can access that application from anywhere where I can access the internet. Same concept in Workday. It is a cloud-based application. The prerequisite to use it, internet, and you should have a credential. If you have that, you will be able to do so. What does Workday offer? Currently, Workday has HCM and financial modules, and we are focusing more on HCM. Okay, in 2005, Workday came in force, where now you see that Dave Duffel and Anil Busri, I think people who come from PeopleSoft background, they know these two gentlemen. So there were these two people were part of PeopleSoft. They were owning PeopleSoft. Now, guys, PeopleSoft is again an HCM application. So they were owning PeopleSoft. In 2005, they sold PeopleSoft to Oracle, and they came up with a new application called Workday. So Dave Duffel and Anil Busri are the one who started Workday. Now, since they come from PeopleSoft, so what they have done, whatever challenges were there in PeopleSoft, they have overcome everything in Workday. So PeopleSoft is a system-based application. Means you need to have a system. Without system, you cannot log in. They overcome this challenge, says that no, we will create one application which is cloud-based. Irrespective of system, you can use it. So overcome the challenges which were there in PeopleSoft. They have came up with Workday, and the important success factor is like, guys, success factor is again SAP product for HCM. I'm not talking about that success factor. The success for Workday is like, whichever customer have used PeopleSoft, they have migrated their PeopleSoft to Workday. So 90% of the customers who were using PeopleSoft were migrated from PeopleSoft to Workday, because the concept of PeopleSoft and Workday is more or less similar. The major difference is like all the limitations which were there in PeopleSoft have been overcome in Workday, and Workday is very easy to operate. When we deep dive tomorrow into a tenant, you will get to know that browsing the application, getting into a data is very easy. We can do that part. Let's move on. Okay, what is Workday HCM? Since I'm talking about HCM, what is HCM? Now, guys, see, Human Capital Management is a configurable software as a service. Software as a service means you are not going to own as a Workday product. You will be using software as a service. Means you cannot say Workday that, hey, can you change the submit into response or request kind of thing. Workday will not do that, because it is a service. What happens in service? We use the service till the time we want, and then we shut down the service and we said, hey, I don't want to use this application. I have to move on. So they will give all your data and they will move on. So Workday is a software as a service. Okay, what does HCM do? HCM help to organize staff, pay, develop global workforce by establishing global consistency. So Workday is one application where you can, let's suppose if I am a multinational company, all my country's requirement will be handled in one application. It is not like that if I'm working in India and you are working in US, for the same organization, we have to use different applications. Workday is a global application. Global application means you take one application and all your country specifications are being taken care by Workday. So it is a global application. Okay, it offers a unified human resource and a talent management solution. Okay, we are focusing more on human resource, but apart from human resource, there is a talent management. We are going to see what all other module Workday offers. This platform enables you to embrace changes by providing workforce and operations insight. Now, here, as I mentioned, that it is a configurable application. Means we can configure the way we need. For an example, Amazon and Samsung, they both are using Workday. Okay. Amazon says, hey, for hiring an employee, I need 5 steps. Samsung says, for hiring an employee, we need only 3 steps. Now, what happens, guys? They both are using Workday. What is the big change? That they both have configured the application as per their own requirement. So, Workday is configurable software as a service application. Okay, what is Workday HCM? Unified global cloud application. We talk on this part. Actionable insight means Workday is an object-based application. Means each item in Workday is an object, and you can drill down further for the object. We will see that when we drill down into a tenant. User interface is one of the key feature of Workday. Easy to use, easy to understand, and easy to navigate. Yes, we are going to focus on human capital management and agility. Agility means, as I mentioned, Workday is not only having HCM, it has got several other modules, and all of these modules are interconnected with each other. Means if I'm using Workday HCM and after 2 years I plan to use recruiting, then all your recruiting data will automatically flow to HCM. You don't have to create any integration. But in other legacy applications, if you are using 2 different modules for the same vendor, you need to do an integration. In Workday, it is not the case. Okay, now the big one. You see, HCM is the core part of the module and all other modules revolving around HCM. And that is the reason we are focusing more on HCM. Okay, so HCM being the core part of Workday, if we know Workday, we can look out for recruitment, talent management, time tracking, project, planning and analysis, payroll application, big data. So you see, if I don't say that I'm not an HCM consultant, then even though you carry all of these experience, it is of no use. You need to have the foundation module. And that is the reason when anyone who is starting or who wanted to have their career in Workday, they should start with HCM. Okay. No matter you are a technical consultant or you are a functional consultant, but the starting point of some Workday consultant or starting point of the Workday consultant is HCM module, and we are going there. And we are going to have a techno functional HCM training. Functional part we are going to cover in 20 hours, and in 10 hours we are going to talk about the technical part of Workday. Okay, what are the key product areas? You see that big data analytics. Now, data analysis is a key feature in any organization. We are having several applications to do an analysis. Okay, so Workday will help you to do your analysis. Then recruitment will tell you that, hey, if for hiring an employee, what is the tab? What is the average time taken by an organization to hire an employee? That will help us. Talent management application will help you to understand that what is the best talent available in your organization, and what is based on their managers rating. You can have your talent based on your, like, you can give or you can pick your talent, and depending upon the employee's performance, you can go for the performance module, where depending upon the performance you can go for a merit increase. Okay, so you can have talent module there. Time tracking to take care, guys. These are the different modules, but our focus area is on HCM. Time tracking to take care of your label, time and attendance, where you see that, hey, what is the time employee have worked, what are the time of employees applying for, to track all such information. Project will make sure that if you are working on any project, a project management application is there to make sure that you are tracking a project. If you are working on any project, you see that, hey, I have 10 employees working on one project, working for 8 hours per day. So you can report on them. So that is project management. Workday administration benefit helps. So Workday also have a benefit modules. Benefit modules to make sure that, okay, now Workday primarily focus more on US oriented module, where you can see that what all benefits are being given to an employee by an organization. So all such things are as per government norms, and all such modules is predefined given by Workday. Means you don't have to add all the plans and things in Workday. It is predefined as per government standards. Planning and analysis. Yes, Workday do have a payroll solution, but yes, payroll solution not for all the countries. There are 5 countries where Workday support payroll. So United States, United Kingdom, France, Canada, and recently they have added Germany. So all of these countries payroll are given by Workday. For other country, Workday is still coming up with to implement payroll for or to come up with a payroll solution for other countries. But currently they have 5 countries where you can directly implement payroll with government standards. And the big one, we are going to focus more on HCM, which is human resource, and we are going to focus more on the HCM part of Workday. All other modules are associated with HCM, and we will deep dive and try to understand the concept of HCM. One second. Okay. Now, HCM key benefits. If you see here, you name any area or any sector of the business, you see that they are using Workday. So you talk about banking, they are using Workday. You talk about health and care industry, using Workday. For education, local and state government, life sciences, manufacturing, professional service businesses. So all of these sector of the industries are using Workday. So it is Workday is not a, a specific organization based application. Workday can be used for any kind of industry. And you see that we will go over the website where we see that, hey, who are the customer to gain more confidence on Workday. We will see that part. Since we are on this page, let's have a look at what all modules or what all things Workday offer. So let me go here, and I would encourage everyone to visit this website, workday.com. And let me see, there is something in the chat. Let me see if something is there for me, or else I'll move on. Okay. Yes, I see that there is one constraint that so we'll be able to implement Workday after this training. Yes, you will be able to do so. Correct. Now, guys, I urge everyone to visit this website once. Why? Because let's say customer experience. I go here and say customer stories. So I wanted to see that which all customers are using Workday currently. You see, Netflix is using. Then Airbus is using. And see, the list is huge. You name it and you get it. See, all of these customers are using Workday. So there are currently, if I am not wrong, close to 3,900 customers are using Workday application. Okay, and 3,000, and still the count is on. Now, Workday is targeting Europe market. Currently, they have targeted US. Now, I think US is again in saturation, or not in the saturation, but still evolving. But now they have started targeting Europe, and most of the Europe countries are also using or started using Workday. So market is huge globally, and Workday is a global application. It is not like that you have to be in Europe to get an opportunity. You can be in any part of a globe and you can work on it. Okay. So as I mentioned, though I'm from India, but I take care of customers coming from US. So it is irrespective of your country, but the only thing is you should have a knowledge. If you have that, you can work from any country. So yes, move on to this and go over the things. Yes, let me talk on the thing. Product. So HCM, we are going to focus on HCM. Have a look at HCM, what all HCM offered. Let me explain and see that all the resources. Now, there is a difference, right? Who are partner, who is customer, and who can give a certification. This is very common question which I had almost in every session, that, hey, can I be a certified consultant? So certified consultant can only be given by a Workday or a partner company. Okay, so what is partner company and what is, let me see if I see it here, because they keep on changing the application. Let me see. Give me, oh yes. So here is the thing. Workday partners. So there are advisory partners, service partner, software partners, global payroll partners. Okay, so these are the, so if you click on it, you will get to the organization. So if you work for any of these organizations, now if I go to advisory partners, If you work for any of these organizations, then yes, you are entitled to go for a Workday certification. Okay. So guys, there is a difference between Workday partner and Workday customer. You might work for Workday customer, but you are not entitled to go for a certification. Certification can only be given by all of these organizations. See, just look at it and you'll get to know about the organization. When they started their partnership, get the date, move on, look out for more. So I will urge everyone to just browse this application to get the hands-on and better understanding who are partner applications. Okay, let's move on. Excuse me. Okay. Global to the core. If you see here, you name it, you'll get it. So Workday is one umbrella where you get all the applications. So I start with HCM. I started small, but later on I can add on any of these modules. Payroll, succession, global performance, onboarding, recruiting, compensation. So depending upon my requirement, I can have all of these modules implemented after HCM or alongside HCM. Yes, it can be used on mobile, actionable analytics, collaboration, consumer UI. What are the technology foundations? Multi-tenant. We'll talk about tenant. What are tenant? Where we do a practice. When I say I will give you a tenant for practice, but what are the tenant we are going to give you? We are going to see all of them. Embedded services, who all can do that? What are the embedded services? Embedded services means if you're using Workday, what all things comes in picture? So reporting comes in picture, configurable business process, settlement engine for finance, governance and compliance for state, organized state. Like if any organization is working for state, they can implement that part. Okay, we will see in detail of these parts. So let's currently move on to the desired thing which we have planned to do today. Yes, Workday HCM consultant salary trend. Now, again, guys, we all are here for a purpose, right? So if you say that, if I talk about an average income for consultant coming from US, now this is purely for a consultant coming from US, and Workday is a US based application. So it is around 130K per year. Now guys, I am saying 130K is an average. Depending upon your skill, depending upon your experience, the salary may vary. If you are a beginner, let's say you say I am a beginner, I am just starting my career, so you can expect 47K. Depending upon your experience, your skills, you can go on with 195 and further. Okay, so this is the current salary trend, and the data is for 2020. So we had a survey there, and we get this information based on our survey. Yes, HCM consultant job trend. If you see here on the x-axis, when I started in 2015, you see I was here, okay, 0.5%. Now, during the course from 2015 till to 2020, you see there is a huge hike, and the phenomenal year is from 2018 to 2019. It reaches to 20%, almost 20%. So yes, Workday is still growing, and you see the opportunities are very high, and you can look out for it. So in just to get a more confidence, just type your location and look, say, hey, Workday jobs in your location. You will see n number of jobs. Okay, I know that all that jobs were not going to be with matching your profile, but yes, there is a way we are going to see that as well. But currently, focusing only on job is not our right path, right? We should first understand the application, and once we know HCM, then we have a session where we are going to talk about career paths in Workday. That what after training, we will go over that part. I see there is something in the chat. Let me see. How can we get certified if we are neither a Workday customer nor working for a partner company? There is no way. No one in this world can guarantee you that, hey, you can become a Workday certified. To be a certified, you have to first get a job. Now, let me tell you, It is not like that customer cannot get. Customer is not certified, they get a training. So there is recently they came up with a customer certification. Even that has a value. So let's suppose you are working for a customer. Let's say Samsung. You're working for a Samsung and Samsung is Workday customer. So Samsung, your Workday administrator will nominate you for the training. You go for the training, you give an exam, and then you will get a customer certification. Now, guys, customer certification means you know the knowledge, you have the experience. But partner certification means you move from Accenture to KPMG, your certification will still be there. You don't have to redo the certification. So I will tell you how to reach. Now, since you all are new to Workday, guys, you carry experience in any other module, but in terms of Workday, you all are new to me. You all are new to Workday. So how to reach out, how to focus on how to get this thing. First, target a contractual opportunity. Guys, I'm not saying that you should not target. We have seen consultant directly getting hired by Deloitte, but I'll give you a foolproof path where you should start with contractual opportunity, work for 6 months, get accustomed, get acquainted to the application, and then go for an interview in just a matter of interview. And it purely depends from which country you come from. But what I have seen, people coming from United States are more likely to get the certification job because there are opportunities are very high and consultants are very less. It doesn't mean that there is you have to lower your chin. No, in India or maybe from any other country, if you guys are coming, opportunities are there, but yes, you have to look out for a right option. So we will have a session to make sure that what after training, how to get started, how to know that we are on the right track in terms of getting the job. So we will do that part. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on. Now, there was a concern last session, right? What all kind of job we are entitled to get? What job we should be targeting? Now, guys, Workday is a huge terminology. When I say, hey, I know Workday, that is not going to guarantee you a job because Workday is a huge module. So what kind of job you should be targeting? You should be looking out for a project manager. Now, guys, when I say project manager, it doesn't mean that you are a fresher and you can go for project manager. Project manager means people who have worked for 15 or years in a specific application. Now they wanted to elevate their career. Then they say that, hey, I don't know Workday, but I know how to manage a project. You can look out for that opportunity. HCM consultant is very generic job opportunity. HCM consultant, I know HCM, I'm a HCM consultant. You can get it. So you should be targeting more on HCM consultant job. Okay, so this is the highly possible opportunities which you can get in. Let me see something in the chat. Okay, does the certification expire? In other words, does one need to keep working for a partner company? Yes, you are right. Now, it doesn't mean that if I am a certified in 2016, okay, and I leave my partner company and I work for a customer company, then my certification will go. Then you say that how your certification will go? Because every 6 months, you have to again revalidate your certification. Means, now let me tell you one more thing. Guys, Workday comes up with 2 releases in a year. Okay, one in the month of March and other in the month of September. So what happens in this release? Let's suppose we are coming up with new release in the month of March. So what is the nomenclature? You should say R1, R2. R1 stands for March, R2 stands for September, and followed by the year. So we are looking out for R1 2022, means release 1 of 2022, followed by release 2 of 2022, then release 1 of 2023. So this is the nomenclature which Workday follows. There are 3,900 customers who are there currently in the market who are using Workday, and they all are on R2 2021. So in other application, if you want to change version, let's suppose you're using Microsoft 2008 and you wanted to upgrade your 2008 to 2010, Microsoft Office will say, hey, you have to pay this $, and then you will be upgraded. But same case is not with Workday. all the customers on the updated version. you are using Workday, you will automatically be on the updated version. So that is free of cost. Okay, coming back to the question. So what happens in this upgrade on this releases? All the certified consultant have to revalidate their certification. Revalidate means if you are coming from a partner company, your email ID is tagged to partner company, you have to go for one training for 3 to 4 hours, and then you have to again give the exam. If you clear, then your certification is valid. If not, it is like it is like 10 to 15 options are allowed. Means uh, you can give 10-15 times an exam and get through with that. But yes, each releases a certified consultant has to pass the exam to make sure that their certification is valid. So if you are certified once, it doesn't mean that you are certified for lifetime. Every 6 months, all the Workday consultant have to go for a recertification exam, and they have to clear that to make sure that their certification is intact to with their name. Okay, make sense? Current version of Workday is R2 2021 and upcoming version is R1 2022. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, you should target senior executive finance manager depending upon your domain. Okay, what are the top 3 industries who are using Workday? So yes, IT industries, any IT industries, e-commerce industries and automotive industries are the top 3 industries who are using Workday for their day-to-day activities. Okay, why choose ZaranTech? Now, it's a like you all have a constraint, right? We have joined ZaranTech. Is it the right path to move on with Workday, or we should have been chosen some other organization for getting the certification or for getting the training? So ZaranTech was mentioned. So I'll give you things. There is a link. You can go to this link and you can focus on this part. So ZaranTech was mentioned with an interview with Focus Cloud. I hope you all are aware of Focus Cloud is a big vendor coming from UK who is making sure that any contractual opportunities, if any organization is looking out for, they are the one who provide consulting. So there was a discussion around ZaranTech with Focus Cloud that the only organization, the only institute who provides Workday training with a proper hands-on experience and all the terminologies and methodologies used by Workday, we are following that. All of it even from the US and they work for, if they are not from US, they follow the customer who are coming from Workday. As I mentioned, I come from India, but I take care of US customers. So I know what are the terminologies and what are the requirements if somebody is using or working from United States. Each trainer has more than 4 implementation experience. Yes, during my 7 years of journey, I have implemented 7 customers. For out of these, I have worked on 3 implementation customer. Currently, I'm working on implementation customer and 4 support project. We only hire who have Workday certified. Yes, you know that as I mentioned that I am a certified consultant, and it is not like that I'm not disclosing my real name, but when I teach, when you go over my recordings, the way I explain, you will automatically get to know, because the person who is certified, they carry different approach for teaching the concept because they work. If I know Workday HCM, that doesn't mean that I can teach. For teaching also, I need to have a skill to make sure that whatever I'm teaching, that is being understood by the participants. If you go to YouTube and search for Workday training, our video comes first because YouTube ranks video based on quality and values. Yes, this is true. If you want, if you are handy with your application, you can check it now to make sure that whatever things we have mentioned here are true. We provide very, very important, and this is in bold and in that we provide 24/7 in the same tenant. You can practice HCM, payroll, finance, reporting, and everything. Okay, now guys, tenant is a big constraint. If we don't give you tenant, we say that, hey, we will teach you how Workday works, there is no point. getting to know application and getting to know application with hands-on experience is two different parts. So we are going to give you a hands-on experience. We are going to give you a tenant to make sure that whatever concept I have explained, you follow them and you work on it. Okay. So that is the main point of things which we make sure that our participants should get, and we follow all these parameters to make sure that the person who is taking the session should adhere to all of these things. So these are the prerequisite for a trainer. So if you evaluate me, I match almost all the thing parameters. I am certified. I have done 4 implementation, more than 4 rather. I work for US customer, and tenant is maintained and offered by ZaranTech. So yes, you can reach out to support team for the tenant access. So far, we haven't started anything with the tenant, but tomorrow when we'll meet, we will go over the tenant. Okay. So let's see what do we have next. Yes. After training is completion, ZaranTech provide a job readiness program. I was discussing to this, right? I did mention that what after training, right? It is, you know the concept, but if you don't know the right way to get the opportunity, then it really becomes tough for any Workday consultant or any aspirant to get a job. Okay, so we have a session called Job Readiness Program. The Job Readiness Program consists of resume creation, LinkedIn profile optimization, what kind of job we should be targeting, and what should be our approach to make sure that what support or what group we should be updating or requesting to join in over LinkedIn, and how to post that, hey, I am an aspirant, I know Workday HCM, I have taken training from ZaranTech, and now I'm looking out for HCM job. So all of these things will come under job readiness program. Okay, so you can go over this, and placement guys at no cost. Guys, we are not a placement agency. We are going to give you a guidance. Okay, so please make sure that you don't be under impression that we are a placement agency and we are going to give you a job. We will recommend that, hey, we have these many consultants, and if you need, you can get the consultant from our organization and you can interview them and then evaluate and go with the things. But we are not the placement agency. We are the training institute which provide training on different modules and assist and give right path to the consultant to get the right job. Workday course. Hey, Workday course, we already have a session that what are we are going to cover, and it's not like that only PPT session. Since it was an introduction, it was right to know that what all things we carry, because without knowing all of these things, we will not be able to understand and start Workday opportunity. Yeah, prices wise, since you have already enrolled, so I don't want to talk on the prices, because since you have enrolled, you will obviously go ahead and you know the best price. We will give you 7-day full money back guarantee. That is already there. 4.4 ratings on Google. We are US based organization. And yes, very important part. It is not like that we give training to only participants like you. We have like a tie-up with several corporate organizations where we give training to the corporate things. Now, let me elaborate this point, because this is very interesting point. Let's say I implemented Workday, okay, and I need my internal team to support Workday. Now, obviously, guys, if I need internal team to support, they should be aware of Workday, right? They should know how Workday application works. So what we do, we train them. We train the organization batch, and we say that, hey, you send us the candidates who are willing to go for a Workday training, and after the training, they can support your organization. Now, why organizations are following this approach? Because when you look out for partner company, they charge like anything. Okay, let me give you the real figure. What we charge is $210 per hour. Can you imagine? If you are working for a partner company and you're supporting one customer, so the charges for per hour is $210. Obviously, if I'm an organization, I don't want to pay that much. Obviously, I'll hire the Workday consultant. I'll train my internal team to make sure that I'm paying them well and to support the job. So this is the main reason where people coming from the corporates are directly giving us the candidate in a batch to make sure that they know Workday concept. Okay. So by the price itself, you get to know that, again, we don't get $2,210 per hour. We get whatever is promised, but my organization is charging this much. Okay. So here are the customer list. I have already shown. You can visit Workday website to make sure that you know who are using Workday and which organization to target for an opportunity. Okay. Since we have time, I'm not going to rush. I'll log in into a tenant and then we will go over the tenant. But before I move on to the next segment, are there any queries or any kind of blocker or any concerns you would like me to answer? Feel free to ask.
This is Ravi here. I'm a bit confused on the configurable part versus the customization part. Can you just explain once again, Manthan, if you don't mind?
Okay, sure. So customization means I own the product. Okay, I say that, hey, I don't like the look and feel of the application. I will do the changes as per my requirement. Okay, that is customization, means tailor-made.
Yeah.
That is customizable. Workday says, I am not, see, let's suppose I am using Workday. I am not the owner of Workday. I am simply subscribing to a service. Now, what happens if you are using Google Drive and you say that, hey, I want to extend my usage capacity. Instead of default 15, I need 30 GB. So Google says, hey, no problem. You subscribe, you pay us the amount, and we will do that. You cannot reach out to Google and say that, no. Instead of Drive, can I make a new name, folder, and can I store there? You cannot change the nomenclature and the way it operates. That is cloud-based application. So whether you are using Google Drive or I am using Google Drive, for us, the thing remains constant. What I can do, I can configure. I can share with the respective people. I can create multiple folders under that, but I cannot change the overview lookup of the application. That is customizable. Since I'm not owning Workday, I'm simply subscribing to a service. Okay, let me give you an example, which I have forgotten to give. Now, let's suppose I'm moving to another city. Okay, and I say that, hey, I wanted to stay here for 1 year. So what I say, rather than me buying the property, I say that I will rent the apartment. So when you rent the apartment, what happens? You only pay to the service, right? Let's suppose the overall building has 230 flats, but I am renting only one flat. Now, it's very strange when you go and say that, no, can I change the bathroom from here to this place? Can I move or take other space to adjust into my bedroom? No, you cannot do that, right? Since you're not owning, you are simply renting. Same concept in Workday. You are using a service, not owning the application. I hope this makes sense.
Yes. Thank you, Manthan.
Yeah. Any other concerns, guys?
Yes, Manthan, Shivraj this side. This is my first class. So I have a query. So if we are learning or going only for HCM, so you have showed different modules, right? Recruiting, onboarding, and compensation.
Correct.
So will only learning HCM, can we get into the market?
Yes, as you see that is the reason I have mentioned that, right? HCM is the core part. Means if you know HCM, you are entitled to get for the job. And then working for HCM, you said, no, now I see that there is an opportunity on recruiting. But to know recruiting, 80% information should come from HCM. So if you know, you are entitled to go for recruitment. But HCM is the foundation. I started my Workday journey with HCM only, guys. I haven't done for 4 years. I haven't done any other certification. For complete 4 years of my Workday journey, I only had HCM certification. I worked 4 years with HCM certification, and that too in 2016. Okay, so HCM module is more than enough to kickstart the Workday journey.
Okay, got it. And is it going to be techno-functional or only functional?
No, techno-functional. When I say techno-functional, guys, don't be like worried that I'm gonna ask you guys to learn any programming language. No, big no. When I say techno-functional, so technical part comes purely with the logic. And it doesn't mean that you are a functional consultant, you cannot learn technical part, or you don't know any programming language, you are not entitled to do so. No, if you know the logic, we will see that. But any consultant who knows HCM, I will encourage everyone to take care of technical part of Workday also to get more valuable in the market. Let's see what is there in the chat box.
So where does the technical part comes in the content which you have shown?
Integration. Let's suppose now I am an organization, okay, and I am using Oracle Talio, a recruiting application, and I am using Workday HCM. Now, what happens in this scenario? Guys, first recruiting comes in picture, and then you go for hiring, and then you terminate. So what happens? All the recruiting information should come to HCM. Now, since there are two different applications, right? Recruiting says, hey, I don't know Workday, I'm not going to understand Workday. You do whatever you want, I will work in my fashion, because they two are different applications. Now, do you want people to, your organization to say, hey, no, you use recruiting as well as HCM for Oracle, also use Workday HCM? No, right? You say that, no, I want a master data. I will use recruiting for Oracle recruiting, and I'm going to use the same data into my Workday application. Then in this part, when you want to communicate between two different applications, then your technical part of Workday comes in play. Make sense?
So yes, are we going to see that part in this training?
Yes, we are going to see that, but we don't have Oracle Talio. But yes, whatever configurational things is needed, we are going to do that. But to give you a hands-on experience, I should have one Talio application to migrate the data. But yes, we will see whatever configuration is needed, whatever skills is needed to do this kind of integration. We are going to see that. Okay. And yes, guys, now people who say that, no, I am a technical guy, I don't like functional things. Now there is a Workday Studio. Now that Workday Studio is purely for somebody who follows coding, who is passionate to do coding. So for do coding, now guys, we are not going to cover Workday Studio as part of our training. Workday Studio is again 40 to 45 hours of separate training. That too, you can go for Workday Studio if you have 6 months of Workday HCM experience. Then only you are entitled to go for Workday Studio. If you're going for Workday Studio, then programming skills like XML, XSLT, XPath, JavaScript, all of these things you have to be aware, and you should know integration concept to be a Workday technical consultant. But since we are a techno-functional consultant, so Studio will not come in picture for us. I see that Rosaline have raised her hand.
Good evening,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm an HR professional, takes care of basically onboarding and offboarding, exit processes and on. How this HCM is going to help me?
See, now currently how you manage your onboarding stuff? Is it manually or you are using some application?
Manually.
Okay, now you are doing manually, chances of error is very high, right?
Yes.
So in HCM, you do have a concept like onboarding where you can automate your onboarding. Means, let's suppose you are looking out for I-9 form, you say that, no, I want personal information, I want emergency contact, I want an employee to select their own benefits. So all of these things are automated in Workday. Automated means it is not like that Workday comes up with automation. Now each organization has their own way of configuring things. As I kept mentioning that Amazon says we need 3 steps. Samsung says we need 4 steps. So we can do a configuration and we can automate this overall process. So rather than giving manually, we can automate where employee as self. So as an employee, I will get this task and I can automate the process. I will get the reminders. I can report on that. Hey, I hired 20 employees. Out of 20 employees, only 4 have completed onboarding and 16 are still pending. So I can report on them. I can escalate to the higher management. Hey, these guys have not done their onboarding. So all of such things, automation can be done. And automation is the thing we take application. So all the things which you do offline is taken care by Workday online.
Okay. One more question. By completing, as I'm into HR profession, and after completing this HCM module from Workday, will I fetch a job in the HR or anything else I have to do apart from this?
No. See, anything means you learn anything is there is no
related to Workday. I mean to say.
No. Then this is more than enough.
Okay.
This is more than enough.
Hmm.
If you say that, hey, I know HCM, hire to fire, then you are entitled to get a job in Workday since you know Workday.
Okay.
Then you say, no, I know HCM, but my interest area is payroll. Then it is a different story. But to kickstart, HCM is the foundation. If you know HCM, as I said, if you ask me personally, I worked 4 years purely on HCM, no other information.
But again, after working in HCM, if I get a job into as an Workday HCM consultant, then how I am connected to HR field?
Because see, now when you work for a customer, you work for HR, right? Who will going to guide you? For whom you are working?
Yes.
I say that, no, hey, Workday consultant, can you configure my onboarding process? Now, onboarding process will come from your HR team, right? You are not the one who determines the process. You are the one who can configure the process. So when you say HCM, you directly get involved with the HR or people in your organization. They will come up with the requirement.
And but in this HR domain, if I go for an interview and all, the Workday, how Workday carries its value?
Now, Workday is a system. See, Workday is a system.
Yeah.
And let's suppose currently you say that, no, I am doing onboarding offline.
Yeah.
So what happens in your organization? You say that on offline, there are chances are very high that you can come up with an human errors, right? You should not report on them. You cannot track the things. Then you can suggest, hey, I know Workday. If you want, you can use Workday, and Workday has got all of these automation with security. Security means it is not like that. See, guys, onboarding process is not the one which can be seen by everyone. Authorized personnel can only see that. So you can control all of such things. Okay. And guys, this is again a very high level question during the start of the session because we haven't yet started the application. I'll say, park your question for now, because if I go depth, then you guys will lose interest. Because as of now, we haven't started Workday. We don't know anything about Workday, and we are talking about the implementation. So what we will take, we will take a baby step. Okay. Since we are learning Workday, let's get started. Let's get to understand the application in better way, and then probably during the half course, we say that, hey, yes, now I know Workday. Now I'll come up with my concern. So I will request, park your concern for now. I hope I have answered. Yes. But even if I have not, then park your question for now. It's too early to give you that information.
Okay. Sure, Manthan. Yeah. Thank you.
I see there is one concern and I see 2 hands raised, but let me see how many hours are we going to have these sessions. So these session is for 30 hours, 30 to 35. It purely depends upon how you cope up. Let's suppose the estimated time which we offered is 30 hours. But in case you say that, no, I have a query, I need to know this thing very well, then we will take 35 hours, but 20 hours is HCM and 10 hours into technical part of Workday, where we are going to cover reporting, calculated field, EIBs, and core connect. Make sense? I see 2 hands raised.
Yes.
I have actually a few interviews Workday related. I had some exposure on Workday on my last job. So I'm getting a lot of interviews on Workday. But I just like the Ashish question. They ask me a lot of integration side. Have I done PeopleSoft to Workday integration? So if you can give me a highlight on that just quickly, that's what I was going to ask. Like the integration part, I haven't done integration, but I've done the Workday kind of testing, like a few tests.
Now, see guys, integration is purely a technical part of Workday. Now, there are tons of opportunity, but it is not like that one person knows everything. If you personally ask me, I am not a Workday studio consultant. If you ask me, being into industry from 7 years, I don't know Workday studio. So it is not like that you should know everything. So what happens in this scenario, since you don't know Workday, and then you're looking out for an integration, which is again a kind of a gray area for you. So for being an integration, you first have to be a technically strong. Now, when I say technically strong means, you should know XML, XSLT, and integration concept very well. And Workday integration purely revolves around core connectors in Workday Studio, which is again a 40 to 45 hours of training, dedicated training, where we are only going to talk about Workday Studio. But yes, for Workday Studio, HCM is the prerequisite. So I would encourage everyone not to go anything where you look out for Workday integration. We are going to cover integration part, but for now, directly jumping onto Workday Studio, because to know Studio, you need to know HCM. How are you going to correlate? If you don't know from where the data is coming, how are you going to integrate? So wherever you, okay, if I read the question correctly, it says, what is needed to be strong in Workday Studio or integration part? XML, XSLT, XPath, XSD, JavaScript, all of this thing is needed to be a very strong in Workday integration part. So these are the prerequisite programming skills which one should have before they go ahead for Workday Studio. And Workday Studio is part of integration, guys, first of all. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you so much. I appreciate the answer. I'm good to go. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I see 2 more hand raised. Guys, go ahead and ask your concern. Did I answer all your questions? Because I see 2 hand raised, but for some reason I don't see the names. So if I have not answered your question, then ask. Because now,
yes, hello, Manthan.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, this is Raj Kumar.
Yeah.
I have a question. So I think you might have answered this in your previous session, but this is our first session.
Yeah.
I basically come from engineering background. I have like 15 years. I've been working in oil and gas industry. I'm basically a mechanical engineer, planning to shift into IT, and I've been recommended or referred to Workday, you know, to easily get into IT field. So coming back to my chances of getting into a job market, how do I do that? I know there are sessions after the training, like ZaranTech is going to provide or guide
Job
me through the
readiness
resume
program.
workout. Yes. So just can you give me an overview, like what should be my things to consider
So
before
first of
getting
all,
into the market?
so the primary thing, even though we give job readiness program, after all, your knowledge matters, right? When you go for an interview, you should have a proper knowledge. So make sure that you understand the concept. Since you're coming from engineering background, obviously there will be a gap. The work you have done and the things which you are doing it now, there is no match. So make sure that first of all, you get the hands-on experience with Workday, okay? And you say that, hey, I know HCM in and out. See, though I come from a different background, but I know in and out. I have taken the training from ZaranTech, which is again an advantage. And then you have to start slow. Now, the compensation which you're getting now is very high possibility that you might not get the correct compensation. You have to compromise on your compensation for initial 6 months. I don't know what compensation you will be getting, but you have to compromise on that part. Start slow and then move on. I would encourage this part. And in readiness program, we will say that how to get optimizing LinkedIn profile, making sure you have created your resume in right format, all of such things we will explain and you will get. So first of all, do not think of job right now because it's too early to say whether you know the concept or not. First of all, let us complete that functional part and then every one of you can start looking out for a job. Okay. So let us first move on with and complete the first segment of HCM. Then you all can apply to a job. You will get failures. It is not like that in one interview you will get a job. You will get failure, but make sure that you are on the right track. Okay. So the only advice is first complete the session and then move on with the approach. So for now, do not overthink and say, no, what after training, what I'm going to do. Do not do that part. Study and like be slow and study and you will always win the race. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manthan.
Guys, I see
Hi,
that even though if I'm going to start, did I cut anyone?
Yeah, hi Manthan, Yashas here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Manthan, I came from, I have 5.2 years of experience in HR and that is relevant. Total is 8.1. Will if I switch into Workday, in the Workday, will they consider domain experience over here or fresher
Exactly, they will
experience?
consider that. They see, no matter I'm very good in configuration, but if I don't know functional knowledge, how I'm going to understand, right? See, you have to work as a consultant. Now I say, can I hire only using 2 steps? So you should use your experience. That two-step is not going to be good option because you need to make sure that your HR, compensation, IT, everyone is aware that you are hiring a new employee. So your domain experience will always come in play when you talk about anything, things which we have to configure, because domain experience you carry, you have to same thing do in the application. So first domain experience matter, and then configuration comes in picture. So when we implement, we get the requirement first. We do not directly start implementing Workday. We get the requirement. Requirement only comes when you have domain experience. Yes. Then after we move on and do the configuration. Configurational things I'm going to explain. Domain experience, we will use industries scenarios and we will explain that part. So yes, your experience will be considered when you are moving from your HR domain to consultant domain.
Okay. And when it comes to certification, you're telling for every 6 months we have to get evaluated.
Yeah, certification is only for partner company. It is not like that any organization can give you certification. If you work for partner companies like KPMG, Deloitte, Accenture, then your ID, your email ID is tagged with Workday, and Workday says, hey, now I'm coming up with a new release. You have to give one re-exam, get the clarity on that part, score 80 and above, and your certification is valid. So in every 6 months, you have to revalidate your exam or revalidate your certification.
Or we get directly from the Workday as a lifetime certification, like how SAP?
No. This is just a myth. Even though you for Workday, for all the Workday consultant, even they have to go for certification. It is not like that. For Workday, they have different parameter, and for partner company, they have different. No, it is common across the industry. Work for any partner company, whether you be in India or US or in Australia, the pattern remains the same.
Okay. Thanks, Manthan.
So what I see that even though if I start a new session, I don't think that is going to help us, because now we are nearing to the closure of our session. And tomorrow when we meet, we will kickstart with our Workday. Now, presentation done. All the overview, everything is done. From tomorrow onward, we will deal with tenant, Workday tenant, how Workday application looks like, how to get started. We are going to see all of such things from tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow onwards, we will have a live session with Workday tenant, hands-on experience. Presentation will be only for maybe 20% of overall session will be presentation, and remaining 80% is hands-on experience. Okay, guys, then stay safe and healthy. Bye and take care and cheers.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.